Tennessee wigs you be wearing. Because you came for the wrong person today, baby. I am here for you, got all day for you. So yeah, I'm listening to you too, and I want you to know that I'm listening to you. So bring it, baby. Bring it. If you think you got it, Big T, come and bring it, Warren's Mouth. Come and bring it. I got all day for you. Yes, I do. So you come and bring it. All you can do is talk, and all you doing is being jealous of Fire Baby because she's doing what you could never do. And that's all you are is jealous. And envy is so ugly on you. It is ugly on you. You done gone from place to place to place. BS done dropped your butt. Sean done
Thank
dropped
you
your
for the
butt.
thumbs
And
up.
now look what you're doing. You are a follower, boo. You
Must
are
be one
not
of
a
my
leader. You are
bush
not a ruler. You
bush
may use a ruler,
bush
but you are
watchers
not a
or
ruler. So
cloud
I
watchers.
have to go.
But I
Thank you
appreciate
for
you.
the time. Thank you for the coin because I'm gonna make a
I know I'm
coin
late
off of
coming
you too,
on,
boo.
but
Thank you very much,
it's been
Nicole.
hot in them
Peace
streets.
out. I know she was sitting over here listening, and I want you to listen.
And
You
still
envy
hot.
self. I want you to listen.
Jay Wilson done
Anybody
been
that's
on 3
going to
times
come
back to back.
as poor as you are is stupid right there.
Oh,
Real and ignorant. Yeah, I said it. So if you're gonna be a ruler, go get that BSNRN and start playing.
hey.
Be a real nerd. Yeah, get that RSN and pass that man class.
Oh, dang.
The reason why you won't go back is you're too
I,
scared that you won't pass.
I didn't
But
think I was
anyway,
going to come
I'm
on
gonna
because
leave that for another day.
whew,
I'm
they
here for it
it's hot
all
in them
day,
streets.
Nicole.
Jay Wilson done been on 3 times.
Now,
Came
you
on here
hit me
for
straight.
himself. Then he
You
came
hit
on
me
for
straight, bro.
Olivia the Oracle.
Anyway, I done said
And
what I
now
said.
he on
I'm
for
making money off of
what's her
these
name?
people.
Nicole Tyler.
Okay? Now, I don't know that woman. Don't care about that woman. She live in Churchill somewhere in Richmond. I could care less about her. She is really irrelevant, but I'm gonna make a point. Y'all gonna learn how to make a point today. You understand me? Don't you let people sit there and talk about you. Like I said, if they build a CVS, you put a Walgreens right across the street. I could care less about this Miller beer drinking, pot belly, titty be in the middle person over here. Who I got left by her gay husband. Nobody don't care about that. You should have been getting that fixed.
He is talking
Again, worried about everybody else's
about
business,
Nicole.
but you done lost your man. And who you got now? Who you dating now? Oh, okay, I thought so. The TV strip, the computer screen. Okay, these people are your dating. Anyway, moving on, y'all. I am really gone on this topic. I could not leave until I said what I had to say to that aluminium foil man, cellulite stomach woman over there. Keep on. I'm here for you. I am here for you. You know I get into this time and I get in my mode during this
My
season.
goodness.
So I'm here for you. We can
Flow,
do
flow,
another
flow.
season's reading if you need that.
Whew. My coffee.
Anyway,
Lord
he
have
said
mercy.
this wasn't a social business, but whatever it was, I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
He's messy.
Ciao for now. Love you all.
Oh, where'd you send it?
Rest in peace, Diane Carroll, Dominique Devereaux. Y'all take care. Peace and love. Peace out.
Where'd you send it to?
His last name is
Sorry,
Tyler.
where?
We have the same last name, Tyler. I know who my birth certificate is signed by.
I don't see it.
Hold on. Somebody said
What is it on?
S. Hutch may know how to contact him. S. Hutch, if you know how to contact King, please do it. Please do it, because this person needs to come out and say who he really is and vindicate me, because I am not
Click on.
King. If I, what?
I don't see a
Listen
link.
to me. Tasha K. Her
There's not a
platform
link.
is bigger than everybody in the sector combined, and you know that. Am I lying? Tasha K's platform is bigger than anybody in Section 8 sector combined together. Is that not the truth? So if I can call into admit to you the truth, and then it goes to it gives her way to Tasha K and Storm Monroe, and you know that interview is still out here, and you know Tasha K, she checked me, and then not only did she check me, she posted my picture on her social media pages. People know my voice. People know my things. So why would I lie? Did that even make sense, Wiley? No, it doesn't make sense. And I want to say this before I close. You know what you're doing, okay? You know you're on there. Keep finding the
Just go to my page and go to my playlist. You will see it. Well, yeah, but I can't play your playlist if I don't have it. You have to go to your playlist and send it to me.
This is the thing. Kate, if you're listening, Wiley has StreamYard. He can bring you on. You don't even have to put you can put a fake name up in there. But you just say you're not me. Admit it to the public. Let the public know that you're not me. So this woman can get off my neck. Because I'm not going to respond to her. See, she wants me to respond, Wiley, and I'm not going to do that. German lady, what are you talking about, honey? What are you talking about, honey? I'm reading your comment. And you still ain't... She said, German... don't do her now. She didn't vindicate me tonight. She vindicated me. German lady is a good... No. German lady is a good woman because she vindicated me. She told people that she spoke to King McKinley on your platform with Rico. Yeah, and that's where we, but she's all right. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. She's all right. Yeah, I don't think you wrong. She's all right. Well, I like her because and I'm still waiting for you to call in, girl. But Wiley, thanks for calling in. Thanks for speaking your truth. You heard from Wiley. Wiley still communicates to King almost every day. He's seen him outside of YouTube. I will be down with doing a panel. I mean, we can do a
Hey, be quiet.
Well, Robert, why you over here? While you're over here, I'm not going to ask this question. And you don't have to answer, but you know I'm going to be messy. What happened to the panel with
Yeah, you still.
the two people you had on there?
Hush. You understood what I said, B-Town.
Now, I have a question for you.
Yeah, you have
Even
to.
though you know Storm and I have my differences,
You have to.
I would like to apologize to him publicly for questioning his sexuality. But I don't think he will be genuine to receive it. I think that he'll... Storm, unblock me from Instagram, Storm, because Tasha K don't got me blocked, okay? You blocked me. I don't know why I think you got mad because I did my Instagram live and I went in a little bit.
Their list.
But if you can make that
How can
happen,
I have
I will come on there and I will apologize for questioning his
Let me-
sexuality, and that's it.
Let me see. I didn't think you could do that. You don't have to send it. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Oh, I can't do it that way. trying to figure out. Well, I can't do it now because I'm on live.
Okay, excuse me,
Yeah, it won't let
Tracy
me
is
do it.
on live. What are you guys saying? She said, okay, thank you, Wiley, for calling in. Thank you. All right, bye.
Yes, I had to wait.
Vindicate is a good thing,
It
guys.
was at the top of the
If
page, yeah.
Tracy's on live saying she's vindicating me, that's a good thing.
Yes.
Anybody else want to
Okay.
call in before I wrap it
Who
up?
is that one? That's
Because
Trey.
we got some good things out of this today. Some good things. The Faith New York called in and
Don't he sound like you got?
she called in and her and I made up. And then also, Wiley came in and admitted that he knows I'm not King McKinley because him and King McKinley have talked several times. And they still talk outside of YouTube. And he also said he saw what the real King McKinley
They
was
sound
like,
like a
and we don't
woman,
look
don't
nothing
you?
alike, okay?
That's Trey.
So,
I told you you sound like a woman.
yeah. I don't know. Thanks, Wiley. And as you can see, Wiley and I cleared out the air. Listen, I'm over the beef sector. I mean, we'll be doing different things. We'll be doing different things over here. And so I know a lot of people is leaving because a lot of you guys were TSCC, which I'm glad you guys watched. Hopefully you can tell your leader that I am not king. But, German lady, will you call in before I get off the line? Somebody. Should I call Rico?
What you? Should you call Rico?
Should I call Rico?
Can only be messy.
Should I call Rico? Should I call Rico?
You know you're gonna do it anyway.
The Rich is saying yes. Jack, moderator, she knows what's best.
You ain't gonna do that. Yeah, I won't get into it.
Rico
What you
and
doing?
Rico and I had a nice conversation. Rico and I'm gonna see if he's gonna answer. Hold on, let me see if he's gonna answer.
Was she ever your employee? She was. When? 2 years ago.
These people is.
Let me see if Rico's gonna answer you guys.
You should have listened.
I'm calling you. I told you I was gonna call you, Rico. I told you I was going to call you. I told you Simply Trey was gonna call you. Rico do always have the answers. Rico is funny to me. Cause I gotta ask him some questions about them pictures, honey. And since we over here, I like my high school reunion picture. I think it's a nice picture. It indicates it's not me, so leave it up. Simply Trey don't care. I don't care about that. And that's another thing. It's not gonna be that much cussing. Hold on, y'all. Do not go anywhere because we're gonna get Rico reports on the phone. I love you too. I love you all. We're gonna get Rico on this phone, and Rico and I is gonna have a conversation. Cause I told him I was calling him. We done got Wiley. First, we got the Fake New York, and you know she didn't like me, but now she loves me, and I love her too.
Who's the
Now,
fake New York?
Then we had Wiley, and so now we're gonna get Rico. Everybody who's in the chat, make sure you guys put your thumbs up and subscribe to Simply Trey. Oh, I see that. Hey, Simply Shakendra. Yeah, I had to pick Simply Trey because Brianna in my chat.
Oh, Rico got flagged. He can't go live.
Why did Rico get flagged? We're gonna ask him some questions. We're gonna ask him some questions. Rico just called me back too. I want to know what's going on with him.
Well, child, go. He don't have
Is this Rico? Okay, Rico, you ain't gonna cuss this. You please don't cuss. I'm being nice today. You know I was out.
Yeah, you only calling me because you want clout. And to the moderator,
Hold on, Rico.
Rico.
Okay, do not come to me. Tell your moderator.
Oh, Rico. Well, okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Rico. Okay, so which moderator is coming for you?
Jazzy J. Because that Jazz.
So Jazzy J.
Okay, Jazz. Okay, Rico. Now, I called you over here because I told you I'm in the process of doing a panel. And I want you to be a guest on the panel. Remember I told you? Remember?
Yeah, so what?
So I am about to do a panel. And I would like for you to be a guest. And I would like for you to educate me on your story.
Actually, I don't want to be honest, because I see Bobby in the chat, and he's a fake phony and a fraud, because he sent you my receipts of my private photos, and I exposed that crap.
Hold on. What pictures did he...
I know what I know. He sent you, and he sent, what's his name, my private pictures. Blaze it, because he was the only one that had...
Okay, so Wiley, did you send Blaze?
Nothing to do with this drama or nothing else, but Wiley, Marquise, Wiley, you better look out, because I'm coming to Dallas, Texas before your meet and greet, so you could be in the chat all day, watch your looking all day long, but I know what I just seen.
Okay, right.
And I'm never say.
Okay, Rico, now you know I like you. I told you I like you because you remind me of my ex. Remember I told you that in Tracy chat?
Yeah, I know you want this big pen.
Rico, you can't talk like that.
Do I have proof, Wiley? Wiley, the proof is that you took pictures on my phone when I was out in the alley at that Airbnb, and I was talking to my grandmother, and my phone was in that Airbnb on that desk at that desk. Don't try to play stupid, Wiley. If you want to try to play stupid, do not play with me, because you gonna get yourself hurt. And
Now, Wiley, did you release his photos?
Because New York is not nothing but 4 hours away from me. So you gonna get blazing messed up, and Wiley, you already know you can't suffice you a pussy.
Okay, so Wiley, listen to me. Please don't tell.
Oh, you still there?
It ain't no lie. The proof is
I hope you went
okay, so who took the picture
to Trey's channel.
Who took the picture off of my crack screen phone, off of my Samsung Galaxy Note 9? Don't try to play with me, because see, I'm not the one.
Okay, so Wiley, Rico is saying that you are the one who released his pictures because you were the one.
And that is a fact. That is a fact. I know what went down in that Airbnb, and I just went on live on my backup channel to expose the lazy, because he wanted to expose me.
Okay, now can you give me some?
Wally done stole the boy
Rico,
pictures.
I gotta call you back. Please don't leave. Do not leave. Rico, I'm calling you back. I did not hang up on you. My system is crack brain, okay? It's not me. Everyone in the chat, stay here because I'm calling Rico right back. Rico, I am calling you right back right now. Because we gonna finish this conversation.
Wally stole that boy's
Rico
pictures.
is saying, allegedly, Wiley released his pictures, his new pictures, because he said Wiley was the only one that had access to that cracked phone. Now, Wiley is in the chat saying it did not happen.
Wally
Now,
is
we're going to get Rico back on the phone.
Yeah,
Rico,
no,
I did
that
not
Wiley
hang up
is
on you.
a dirty dog.
But I told because I'm about to start a panel, and I want to see what type of personality you have. Now, Rico, I will admit, and myself had issues. However, we talked through it, and we both had worked it out. So we're gonna get Rico back on the phone. Rico, remember, please do not cuss. You've been doing good. You've been doing really good, Rico. So I want to finish out. I want to finish what.
And look at
what's
the
really
rent.
going on.
He all in the
And
middle.
I want you to give me some insight on Blazin, because Blazin has been talking about me nonstop, and he doesn't even know me. So I want to know the truth about Blazin. So Rico, answer the phone.
Rico may not answer.
Answer the phone, because I want to know what's going on with you
This
and
is-
Wiley. I want to know what's going on
They
with
should-
you and
they done
Blazin,
made these
and
streets
I
hot
want to know
now.
why your channel got flagged, because
Hey.
to me, you don't do anything different than that other person's doing to me right now. So if your channel got flagged and hers didn't, the hypocrisy of you two. The hypocrisy of it all. So I want you to call back, and I want you, I'm gonna call you back, okay? This computer gonna work tonight, okay? And I'll be seeing them little comments. Yes, I ordered me a new computer, which will have everything working properly, okay? So, yeah, you're gonna have to let me get you on this phone, honey.
Rico done
Because
got
we
his
wanna
page
know
his
the
page flagged.
We want to know what's
With
going
his
on
nasty
with
self.
you, Wiley, Blaze, and why your channel got flagged. Because there are other people who do way worse things, but they've been on here for years. No shade, but tea. So let's get you back on the phone.
You better go lay
Let's
down.
get you back on the
Go lay
phone.
down. Go.
Lord, see,
Honey,
I told
Go lay
y'all.
down.
I
Yeah,
told
yeah.
y'all, we gonna get the truth over here. We have the fake
You
New
can
York
invite
calling
me if you
in.
want
We
to.
have Wiley calling in, and I called Rico, and
Yeah.
Rico is calling back right now
That'd be good for you.
because we needs to know the truth,
Mhm.
like for real, like we needs to know the truth, like we're not gonna let no fake addresses and fake information stop us over here. No. And Wiley, you needs to get King on the phone because you say you talk to him often. You need to get your friend on the phone and let him know to clear my name, even though it's already clear in public opinion, okay?
I don't know what all this is about. I missed all of it. But supposedly
Because
it's
I was trying to
something
make her
that
see how much of a fool she
BS.
was to that person who just, I'm calling you back, okay? I'm calling you back.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, from what I could just pick up,
Listen, we keep it
maybe
real over here,
VS
okay?
is saying
I
that
mean,
he's King.
Yeah, we got nothing
He's
to hide over
King
here.
Kinley. I think she thinks or feels that
Yeah, I
he's
told y'all I was
King
going to call
Kinley.
Rico. I told y'all Simply Trey was going to call Rico. I am getting a call app, honey, once my new computer gets here. But Rico, you can't be getting mad at Wiley for leaking your news because you showed me your penis picture on the... You showed everybody your penis. So, well, not the gentleman's panel, but you know on that panel. So, you can't get mad about what something everybody done already saw. But, Wiley, if you leaked his pictures, that is wrong, and that's also a federal offense, okay? So, let's just hope you ain't do that. Let's hope you ain't do that because nobody deserves to get their pictures leaked, especially if it's supposed to be between you and that other party. That's just common courtesy. And Rico, this is why when you take pictures, you don't show your face.
Yeah.
Now, Wiley said he didn't leak the pictures.
You know Wiley leaked them pictures. Rico can call in.
Call me back,
I
Rico.
already
Call me
sent.
back.
I
Cause I
already
want to get
sent
them tea,
him my
honey.
version
Hey,
video
Mouth TV, I see y'all over here today, honey.
and a girl and her man
Y'all
getting
probably
down.
heard the fake little
All
allegations
those
made against me with
loud
the
noises.
fake tea,
What loud?
okay?
What loud noise? When are those loud noises? What are you talking about?
Hello?
Now, Rico. Now, you heard me get on Wiley case. I told Wiley if you leaked them pictures, that was wrong. And it's also a federal offense. Now, Wiley said he did not leak your pictures. Now, y'all gonna disagree. What's going on between you and Blazin'? Why did Blazin' release that stuff of you?
Okay, I'm going to give y'all the facts, okay? Because I just went on my backup channel, which is Deontay Barber, DEYONZA Barber, okay? And I just went live on my backup page. But I had to delete it because at the same time, I exposed Blazin' Hot Flame getting banged out from the back and sucking just like I do, okay? So let me just tell the story.
Oh,
We was in DC when I invited him here. Okay, so the DC gate that
well, I
everybody
know
is
he
talking
leaked
about,
that
it
boy's
wouldn't have been
pictures.
popping if it wasn't for Rico, because it was a mind trick at the end of the day.
Can you elaborate on that
phone is
DC
on the-
gate? Because everybody
phone
is
is
saying
on the
different things,
stand
but we want to
tonight.
know what is your opinion
On
of
the
DC
charger.
gate. Like, did you really
Stand-up
have
charger.
relations with Wiley, or was that just a made-up thing?
No, it's not a made-up thing. That was actually everything that would happen in here in DC that I'm here right now. It was factual. Everything was real. It was played.
Don't tell me his phone hung up again. Trey,
Guys,
what Trey? Use yourself.
we will be doing a one-on-one interview with Rico, but it will not be tonight. Because this system is not working. And Rico, I apologize, but we're going to have to reschedule. I have Rico's number. I have his number. Y'all want me to call him? Oh, girl, gosh, I got to call Rico again. Dang, get my nerves. I don't.
Trey, what's wrong with you?
Rico, my system like Wiley. Janae, I got a new laptop coming in the mail very, very soon. I just ordered it actually a couple days ago. Rico, my system liked Wiley. I don't think it likes you very much. I don't know why, but it never hung up on you, honey. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh my God.
Rico, talk fast. You know this system is crack brain. Tell us the tea. Tell us the tea. Come on. In 5 minutes or less. Come on. You know the system's crack brain.
All right, so the tea is we was there at the Airbnb. We then came from visiting the White House and everything else. Once we got back to the Airbnb, I jumped in the shower and I smoked cigarettes and I was smoking weed. So I went out and my grandmother had called me and we was talking about family issues. I went out to the alley and I had my second device because I have multiple devices. I had left my Galaxy Note 9, or no, my iPhone, not my Note 9. My iPhone in an Airbnb, and I have nothing to lie about. And I was playing music, and I remember on that live that we had made, I was playing Too Short, I Love, Future and Daz and everything else, and I was in the shower, and got out the shower, whatever, talking to my grandma about some personal family issues, while he had my phone was sitting on that table in an Airbnb.
So you're
he
saying that while
stole
you
it.
was in the shower and then you came out, Wiley was messing with your phone, correct?
He stole that boy's pictures.
I got out the shower, and I went out to smoke a cigarette, and I was smoking my weed. So my grandma had called me. My phone was in the Airbnb. He was sitting at that table.
So he was the only one up in the Airbnb at the time while you was outside, correct?
It was me and him. It was me and him, and he went on because I was playing music. My music was playing on my Bluetooth speaker. So once I was on the phone with my grandma for about 20 minutes or something.
Okay, we understand you was on the phone with your grandma. What's going on with Wiley in the phone? Did he mess with your phone while you was outside or not?
Yes, he did. So when I come back and proceed back into the Airbnb, the music was off. The music was off, and he was in my phone. The phone was in his hands because I was watching a live while he was going live. He was going live on that day, and my phone was watching his live and everything like that.
Wiley done.
Somehow, some way, it went off that live, and he was strolling through my
stole
phone
the
while I was
boy's
on the phone with my grandma. And how can somebody take a picture of my cracked phone, of my iPhone, because I know how my iPhone is, and the description that it is cracked. Somebody took a picture off of their phone, and that's how they went into my Google Photos from 2012, December 12th, 2012, that those pictures that was released of me and my ex and that peen that was in my mouth and my ass that was showing, that was from 2012, December 12th, 2012. I just showed it, and I can show you the receipt as well. So that old picture that they're talking about is some old garbage. Bring us the new stuff from 2019, 2018, baby.
Okay, so
some stuff from 2012.
Okay, so how did Blazin get the pictures? How did Blazin get them?
Okay, I'm gonna just say the fact here. Cause see, you don't know much about this sector, and you learned today how BS is, the TSCC crew, and all of that. See, you're gonna learn. You're gonna go to school and learn some things. See, he was cool with the Dark Force over there with TSCC, and BS specifically said on her live the other night, a couple of days ago, that Wiley had emailed her some receipts.
So wait, are you saying that VS said that Wiley emailed her some receipts?
Mm-hmm.
Now at this point, you know I'm not really believing anything VS says because what she's saying about me when it's proven facts that I'm not king. So we have to come to. Is there another reliable source that we can talk to?
No, but at the end of the day, you don't know much about this sector, but you're going to learn that if once you over there in the Dark Forest and they got over there, okay? That's why they call them the Dark Forest. And Wiley is a part of the Dark Forest. He over there trying to get back into the Dark Forest.
Now I gotta ask you a question. Wiley says that he communicates with this guy named King several times off of YouTube. He said he's seen him in person. He's talked to him. Have you ever heard or seen of King?
J-Love, you can kiss my ass.
Okay, Rico, you can't cuss on here. I'm sorry. You know the rules has changed.
But everybody take pictures and everybody do videos. So, okay, don't try to clown me. At least it was with my man.
Okay, so Rico, have you ever seen or heard from King? Because Wiley said that he's had dealings with
I don't
you.
know what King. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm talking about me and Wiley at the DC Gate. I don't have nothing to do with the Dark Force. King, McKinley, and all that, that's from their crew. Okay, so I don't have nothing to discuss about them.
Well, you guys heard it. Rico said that once he he was outside, Wiley snuck into his phone and took pictures of it, and he's putting that. Wiley said he did not do that. You guys got the exclusive. I'm sorry, Rico. My system, you know, it went down, but we got enough from you. I thank you all that's in the chat. I thank you guys that's coming all in the chat. Wiley, thank you. The Fake New York, thank you. Rico, thank you. At this point in time, we have been on long enough, okay? Rico, you told us the tea. You said, for verbatim, that while you was in the shower, you came out, smoked you a cigarette, went outside, talked to your grandma about some personal information. You said you came back, the music from your phone was off, and you said that Wiley was on your, live with some information. That's what you said. Wiley is disputing everything that you're saying. He's saying that everything that you're saying is not true. So, at the end of the day, it was Rico and Wiley there. We don't know the truth. However, Rico's in my chat saying he has nothing to lie about. Wiley's in my chat and he says he has nothing to lie about. At the end of the day, there's three sides to the story. There's Rico's side, there's Wiley's side, and then there's a truth. And between both parties, there's a mixture of truth, okay? So,
Thanks. Everything
I thank you guys so much for tuning in. I thank you, Tracy, for vindicating me. I thank you, German lady, for vindicating me. Thank you, Wiley, for vindicating me. VS, I'm not King McKinley, but you can do whatever you want because I will not respond. Until next time, God bless you all. Bye-bye.
That is a mess. He's the reporter now. Go on then, Trey. B-Town, you still there?
The great enemy of writing isn't your own lack
Let's
of
see what we got
talent,
here.
it's being interrupted by other people.
No, my phone is.
Constant
My phone.
interruptions are the
It was my
destruction
phone was
of
making noise
imagination.
yesterday because I
In
had
this
the
class, you're going to be exploring your own imagination
the
deep
phone
within you. And we're
sitting
going
on
to
my
begin with
computer.
shorter forms because short stories, short monologues, poetry, things that you
But
can
not
finish
tonight.
and show other people, that's very satisfying and necessary
Oh,
for a
got
writer. What
more
we all
people in
need
here.
is the
Anybody saying that?
satisfaction of this little uplift that we get psychologically from finishing
I
something.
guess I'll read some of my book.
There are two ways of looking at writing. One way is that you're telling a story very transparently. The other is that you're telling a story with language, and the language is the point. How fast do you want your story to read? If it reads too fast, then it might be superficial. If a person reads it in 5 minutes, it's all over. So we're also going to be exploring writers are like keep everything clear on the casserole. Like, what does it go in for dinner tonight? Well, it's going to show up next Sunday. So the story has a few really bits in it. I've always felt that art is the highest expression of the human. Art is the way that we can communicate with one another. So if anybody's listening to me, is interested in writing, probably not. There's a wonderful story to tell, and it should be pleasurable.
How do when, how do with today. Blended. How you do today. I'm gonna just forewarn you that keep me kick on, do me hear that.
Joyce Carol
Mellow Pearl is
This is my master class.
Okay. Are y'all ready for a story? Hey, Cindy, how you doing?
Where you from?
Good, good. Oh, I'm glad you
Oh,
stopped
so
by.
Chicago.
I appreciate it.
Chicago. All right, all right. I'm gonna have to make a
Appreciate it.
trip down there.
Appreciate it. Yeah. I'm glad to see you stop by. Been a while. Been a while. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe you have you been able to replay the book reading? Not yet. Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, Rita, baby. Okay. Well, yeah. Uh, yeah, definitely try and do the replays on the book. Maybe informative to you. Okay. I don't know if B-Town fell asleep or what. I like it. All right, Cindy. Well, you have a good night. You got to go now. I guess I'll just start this book reading. I know it's kind of late, but at least they can replay it anyway. All right, we are reading from this book. Oh, didn't need it. It's called Torch. Good night. All right then. See you later. This book is it's the story. It's 26 stories of women that have ovarian cancer. It's all of their stories. And this particular story is called Life Lost in Fame. At the beginning of 2005, I was a bright, single, and ambitious 31-year-old woman with her whole life ahead of her. I had just bought my own home, a cute three-bedroom house in a growing neighborhood in Waxahachie at Compass Bank. Oh, at Waxahachie. At Compass Bank, I had worked hard to move up and work on larger loans and hopefully get noticed by the power players at the Dallas headquarters. While I had worked several months to arrange a transition between departments, it took less than a month to realize I had made a big mistake. In my old department, I had a wonderful boss and great coworkers whom I still keep in touch with to this day. I knew the new department had difficulty in the past reaching its goals, but I was convinced I could help them and it would be great. Unfortunately, that just wasn't the case. Very soon, I was miserable and secretly looking for a new place to work. I was going on job interviews all over the country while calling in sick to work. So when I felt a lump at the bottom of my neck one day while sitting at my desk, I thought, well, I've been calling in sick and saying I was going to the doctor, so I might as well make an appointment for a checkup. I hadn't been to the doctor in over a year because I only went when something was wrong. I considered myself to be pretty healthy. I was a black belt in Taekwondo, in Taekwondo, and though I hadn't continued to practice, I still thought of myself as a healthy, strong, independent woman. I called the doctor's office and made an appointment for Thursday afternoon, March 3rd, 2005. When the doctor came in and asked me why I was there, I casually commented that I felt it was time for a checkup. And besides, I had two small things going on: a tiny bump on my back that seemed to be a clogged pore that wouldn't go away, and this swollen spot at the base of my neck. He looked at the bump on my back and quickly dismissed it as a small cyst, probably made from my bra strap, but when he checked my neck, he became more concerned. After asking me tons of questions that I answered while thinking he would soon narrow it down to some easy, non-threatening health concern, the doctor scheduled me to go to the hospital next door for an ultrasound on my neck and a CT scan. During the ultrasound, the technician called in a doctor to take a closer look. I wasn't concerned and thought nothing of it. The technician told me I would need to see my doctor the first thing in the morning. Again, I didn't get it. I cheerfully told the technician I would, thinking the doctor would tell me it was nothing. One of them even asked if they should call someone to pick me up. I still didn't get it. The next morning, March the 4th, 2005, I drove to the doctor's office and called work saying I would be a couple of hours late. Little did I know, the receptionist and nurse quickly got me to a room, and soon the doctor came in. I really can't say that I remember anything he said besides those awful, terrifying words: "You have cancer." He had already made many arrangements for me and told me several times what I needed to do next: go to the hospital, get my scans, go to a lung doctor in the building, and then go to an oncologist. I guess he kept repeating the instructions because he could see I had gone into a confused daze where his words were just sinking in. Finally, he wrote it down on a sticky note. Now that I am writing them down, the instructions seem simple: grab your scans and go see two doctors. But nothing was getting past this pounding in my head that seemed to be beating: cancer, cancer, cancer. And that was all I could hear. I took the sticky note and a deep breath and walked out of my regular doctor's office and into a new chapter. No, a brand new book. One that I and others like to call The Journey. I haven't seen that doctor since that day. I have a new regular doctor now, my oncologist, Dr. O. I didn't make it to work that day. I didn't go to work for 2 weeks. I grabbed a copy of my scans at the radiology department and headed to the pulmonary doctor. Say it like that. When I walked in and talked to the reception, stop it. Okay, let's see. When I walked in and talked to the receptionist, a nurse walked up and said, "This is the woman they called about with a pleural effusion that will need a fluorescences. Now, if you aren't schooled in medical terminology like I wasn't, the nurse was saying I had fluid on my lungs, and they would be removing it shortly with a long needle in my back. While running all over the hospital, I began to calm down and started telling myself that while I visited these other doctors, they would be clearing up this whole mess and telling me I was fine. I didn't seem to that didn't seem to be happening. Before going to the next doctor by myself, I called my friend Elaine, who had lost her mother to cancer. I said, I think they are saying I have cancer. The next thing I knew, she was standing by my side when the nurse called us back to the oncologist's office. While we sat in the exam room by ourselves, I remember trying to explain what all had been said and done so far from the appointment the afternoon before to around 11 a.m. the next day. I probably didn't make much sense because I was in shock and denial. So when the doctor walked in, Elaine immediately asked, does Karen have cancer? I remember the oncologist getting this look like, hasn't this been explained to her yet? She said yes and took out the scans I had brought. She then showed us a bunch of white spots in the chest and said, cancer, 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 while pointing to the different places. I had tumors in my lymph nodes. What? I spent the weekend at Elaine's house, calling people and trying to understand what was happening to me and what was about to happen to me. We didn't know what kind of cancer I had, but since I smoked, I was convinced I had lung cancer and felt incredibly guilty. I was terrified, but kept telling myself I deserved whatever I got for smoking since I was a teenager. I remember that when I first started calling friends and family to tell them what was going on, I felt that I was lying every time I said I have cancer. The doctors initially assumed that I had lymphoma, lymphoma, lymphoma. Okay, but that I would need a biopsy of the tumor at the base of my neck to determine what type of cancer I had. I am either very blessed or very lucky to have a best friend from junior high, Teresa Hill, who happened to go into oncology nursing and also happened to be brilliant. I'm positive I'm still here today because of things she put into motion. She continues to be one of my best friends and my health advocate, helping me weave my way through the healthcare system. I called Teresa and told her what was going on. She immediately went into action. Teresa helped me make appointments for a PAT scan, biopsy, a port placement, and the meeting with an experienced and caring oncologist whom I could communicate easily with. She also helped me convince my mother that I did indeed have cancer. And cancer, I did have, that I did indeed have cancer, and that she needed to come help me. My mom was also in denial and kept thinking I would call her back and tell her there had been a terrible mistake and everything was all right. It took several phone conversations with Teresa's explaining thing because every time my mom asked me, I would downplay the seriousness of what was happening. After a quick 2 weeks of scans and testing, I had an appointment with my oncologist to go over all the results. It seemed that everyone else except me knew that I had something even more serious than lymphoma. Okay. But I couldn't imagine anything worse than a cancer diagnosis of any kind. With my mom, Teresa, and another childhood friend named Holly in attendance, the doctor informed all of us of the diagnosis, stage 4 ovarian cancer. I could tell Teresa and the doctor looked much more concerned over this diagnosis than over the initial assumption of lymphoma. I kept feeling that they thought things would be so much easier if it was just lymphoma. I couldn't understand why I kept getting this feeling from them, but I was trying my hardest to ignore it and to ignore the facts they were telling me about this disease. I felt relief that I didn't have lung cancer because I had been blaming myself for getting cancer. But the more I listened, the more it sounded as if I might have the most dreaded of all cancers, given the survival rates. I started chemotherapy the following week, what I now know as the standard procedure protocol, carboplatin and toxin. The plan was to start with chemo first and then have a hysterectomy and debulking surgery soon after. Meanwhile, at home, I was driving myself into paranoid frenzies by looking at statistics and stories about ovarian cancer on the internet. I would call Teresa at all times of the day and night in a panic over something I had read on the internet, and she would patiently calm me down by letting me know that the statistics were a few years old and that I didn't fit into the normal range of ovarian cancer patients, and many other facts that helped me not to have a complete meltdown. I don't know if any amount of talking or counseling really prepares a woman to lose her hair. I know I was not prepared, but I tried. I went to a wig shop with my friend Elaine during our lunch break before I lost my hair and burst into tears when I put on the first wig. I tried to stop crying and could see that I was making the girls in the shop really uncomfortable. But the tears wouldn't stop coming. For most of my adolescent and adult life, I had to I had kept my long hair I had kept my hair long and straight. So seeing myself in the shorter wigs really didn't sit well. I generally tested my hair every morning when getting ready for work. And just as the doctor said, and the nurses had said, I woke up one morning, got in the shower to get ready for work, tested my hair, and it came out. It came out. All I had to do was lightly run my fingers through it and then looked at my hand to see it was full of hair. I cried so hard for so long, and then I called in sick. I just couldn't put on the wig and walk into that office, not yet. I told myself I could get through this and that it meant the medicine was working. I gave myself a whopper of a pep talk and went to work wearing a wig the next day. No big deal, no big deal at all. I had 4 chemo treatments and no results. My CA 125 continued to rise. I started getting scared again and tried to think of anything I could do. So many people told these miraculous stories of people they knew going to MD Anderson in Houston and being cured of cancer. Many times I would tell people what was going on with me, and so many times the question was always, have you gone to MD Anderson? I became convinced that if I went, the doctors there would be able to perform a miracle and pull some treatments out of a hat that would cure me of cancer. I was able to get an appointment with the head of the gynecology oncology department, and then found out a group of doctors would be reviewing my case. I was so excited and thought for sure that they would find something all the other doctors so far had missed. I had pinned a lot of hopes on this, so I was crushed when the doctor informed me that the review board agreed I should continue my current course of treatment and just wait and see. Wait and see. I just could not believe that doctors at the great and all powerful MD Anderson didn't have the cure for me. This sent me into a deep depression. I decided I would sleep through my 32nd birthday. On July 4th, definitely a first because I love fireworks. Luckily and thankfully, 2 of my very close friends could see how low I was sinking and rescued me. They changed their plans, came to my house, and took me out to a Rangers game. When I look back on that day and think how low I was, I thank God for my friends and recognize that He sent them to me that day and used them as His hands to scoop me up and stand me up again. At the next doctor's appointment, I started on antidepressants. In between my 3 weeks treatments, I was traveling the world, visiting my mom in the Bahamas and going on any vacation with friends that were available. I had stopped working after the first 2 chemo treatments. I missed more work than I had planned, and corporate policies made it necessary for me to take the next step and go on short term disability. My boss at the new department I had transferred to was unconcerned and unsupportive. So it was actually a great relief to go on disability. I kept telling everyone who asked that I would be back to work in a few short months, just as soon as I was in remission. Wishful thinking. My whole identity, my whole identity was tied to being up and coming female banker, so it took a little while to get it through my brain and accept it that I might not ever, never work again. I soon became unable to take care of my house and was dependent on friends and neighbors for my lawn upkeep and any repairs that came up. Also, I had taken a 40% pay cut to go on disability, so I really needed to sell my house. I rented it out quickly and moved in with a friend in Dallas. Things were changing fast and furiously, but I was rolling with the punches. By September 2005, I had received 8 chemo treatments. During the sixth treatment, I had an allergic reaction and passed out. Okay. I had to be rushed across the street to the emergency room. I received the 7th and 8th chemo treatment in the hospital over a 24-hour infusion period instead of the normal 2-hour period to prevent any more reactions. In October, I had the surgery, a hysterectomy, and it's whatever it is, but it's the removal of her ovaries. And debulking. Debulking means the surgeon removed all the visible cancer he was able to. The surgeon came out and told my mother he had left a few tumors that were too close to my arteries to safely remove. Others than leaving those tumors, the surgery had gone well, and I spent the rest of the year recuperating. In January 2006, I started chemo again. The doctors all recommended that I receive a year of maintenance chemo. But by April, I had had enough. During the first few chemo treatments, I just had a few bad days at a time, and then I started feeling better. The joke about receiving treatments every 3 weeks is that they wait just long enough until you feel better, and then wham, they hit you with the next one. But after the 4th maintenance chemo treatment in April, I just didn't bounce back. I had slowly gone from a few bad days to bad days every day. I felt as though I had the flu at all times. My bones ached terribly, and I had severe neuropathy in my feet. I requested that we stop the chemo, and my doctor did so because my CA-125 was below 10, and there was no visible cancer on my scans. Once I stopped, everyone wanted to know if I was cancer-free. I kept asking my doctor if I could tell them I was. I wanted so badly for him to say, yes, you are cancer-free. Let's celebrate. But those words never came from his mouth. After a couple of months of my CA-125 remaining below 10, he said I could tell people I was cancer-free. But I could tell by the way he spoke that it was not this great celebration that I and so many others wanted to hear. Then I found that once I started telling people that I was cancer-free, they thought it was all over and I was supposed to go back to life as usual. I wanted to very badly, but life certainly was not as it had once been, and never would be. I spent the entire rest of the year trying to recover from the chemotherapy. I tried water aerobics, physical therapy, water therapy, chiropractic care, supplements, etc. I wanted to feel better, but nothing was helping. Once a drug addict who just came in for a shot of pain medicine. Oh no, I think I skipped. Once I went to the emergency room for the pain in my back. Oh, okay. Once I went to the emergency room for the pain in my back and was treated like a drug addict who just came in for a shot of pain medicine. That spurred another deep depression. I was supposed to be celebrating life and celebrating being cancer-free, but the physical pain in my body and my very low stamina made it impossible. I felt that no one understood. It was such a lonely place. Many nights I cried myself to sleep. It took until February 2007 for me to realize I was starting to feel better and was soon noticing that I had more good days than bad. I felt that I was coming back to life. My CA 125 checks and doctor appointment had moved from monthly to once every 3 months. So I had stopped bringing someone to every appointment. No need to get a friend to take time off from work to come with me for a standard checkup. That's what I was thinking when I went in for my appointment in March. I'm starting to think there must be some kind of jinx that I get bad news when I go to the doctor by myself. The oncologist walked in to the exam room and told me that the cancer was back and that I needed to start thinking about what treatment we would use this time. I was so shocked that he wasn't shocked at all. He said my CA 125 was in the 30s. So I had time to think about it, but that I needed to start coming in monthly and that we would start chemo treatments again in a few months. This time I had the gift of time. I started looking on the internet and trying any and everything I found that claimed to cure cancer. I spent hundreds of dollars on supplements and powders and tinctures for several months while we all watched my CA 125 continue to rise each blood test. By November, it was time to start some type of treatment. I asked my doctor if we could look at clinical trials before doing more chemotherapy. And though he was not excited about my testing unknown drugs. He agreed and contacted a doctor with Mary Crowley Research Center. I went in for an appointment and testing and was given the paperwork for the phase 1 drug trial. Where's my drink? Okay. The doctor I met was very interested in nutritional approaches to cancer treatment and was open to discussing the supplements I had been trying. I told her I was interested in visiting a place in Austin called Optima Health Institute, where one receives holistic treatment while eating only a raw vegetable diet. She acknowledged it might help and that we could put off starting the trial until January 2008. I went for 1 week in December, had a wonderful and relaxing time, and came back expecting to start the trial in January after the holidays. But when I went in for a blood test, I found out my CA 125 had dropped 30 points. Nothing except chemotherapy had made my CA 125 go down. So I was ecstatic. I withdrew from the trial and went back to Optima Health Institution for 2 more weeks in January 2008. My CA 125 continued to drop. All of my other blood tests showed improvements as well. It was wonderful and I felt incredible. I applied to serve as a missionary or working guest and started in the middle of February. By April, my CA 125 had gone down again. All my other blood tests were in normal ranges. I was healthy and becoming cancer free. It was simply amazing, and I was losing weight and increasing my stamina as well. I became so confident that my okay. I became so confident that I skipped my monthly blood tests in July. When it came time for testing in August, I went to the lab in Austin and asked my nurse to just fax the results to me because it would be hard to get to Dallas for an appointment. Another crack in the universe. I picked up the fax and almost fainted when I saw that my CA 125 was 230. The normal range is 0 to 35. I almost think sometimes the cancer has a brain because it figured out how to get around what I was doing and start growing again. I drove to Dallas for a CAT scan and knew there was a problem when my doctor called me just a few hours later. By now, I've learned to look for signs that there's a problem. If they call, if they call a doctor in for a second look, if they start patting you or say they are sorry, oh, there are others. The doctor said I have fluid accumulating around my heart and would need to get back to Dallas immediately for treatment. I went back to Austin and tearfully packed my belongings. I was so sad and so angry. The first Monday I was back, I went to Baylor's ovarian cancer support group. I needed these women to cry with, to understand. I went into the hospital 2 times for the fluid around my heart and started on a clinical trial chemotherapy drug in September. I kept going to meetings every time I could make it and started seeing a psychiatrist as well, psychologist as well. I finally got past the anger. I'm back to being so very thankful for the life I had been given and thankful for the amazing women in my support group and in my life for saving me and supporting me at all times. I continue to fight the fight and be a survivor. This is Karina Perkins. Last time I seen Karina, she was in remission and she was going on some kind of retreat. That was the last time I remember seeing her. It's late and I won't hold y'all. I know y'all want to get to bed. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? I guess I missed a few people. Hey, Michael Myers, how you doing? I missed you. Missed you coming in. Hey, lovely love. How you doing? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Did y'all get a chance to listen to the book reading? I don't know if y'all just came in or not, but I read this book that I'm reading is the book of it has stories. It's 26 women that wrote their stories in this book. All of them are are ovarian cancer survivors. Some of them are still here, and some of them has gone to glory. And my wife, her story is in here. Uh, she passed away in 2014 from ovarian cancer. So yeah, I read a day on here. I just read one because I knew it's kind of late. I don't want to bore anybody. So how y'all? I don't know how many is left at all. I don't know. Let's see. So I don't know if y'all still in here or not. Y'all may have left. Michael Myers. I think I've seen Michael Myers before. Let's see. I know my other people probably left. Yeah. Yeah, I started reading late. Hey, Aquarius, how you doing? Were you in the bushes, or you just came in? You just came in. I'm sitting here drinking coffee. Aquarius, let's see. She's listening. Oh, okay. You get to be going to ask you a question. Told me if you see a spider tattoo on a man, they was affiliated. Yeah. Wait a minute. I want to ask you a question. XKKK told you if you see a spider tattoo on a man that is affiliated with that. You know, I'm not sure, lovely. That's the first time I heard that. And it may be true, but I don't know. That's the first time I heard that. Well, I guess they would know. Yeah, that's interesting. I never heard of that. Just ain't no telling. Wow. Something to think about. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You up late, ain't you, lovely? Or you checking out these streets? Quarters. How much longer you gonna be up? You getting ready to go? You getting ready to turn in? Oh, you couldn't sleep. Oh, yeah. I understand it. I'm the same way. why I be up so late. Cause I can't. I'm so used to staying up late. I cannot go to sleep early. I don't know where everybody went to today. Where they were at my mods and a long night. Yeah. Hopefully you can. Hopefully you fall asleep. I can. Hey, I can read another story if you want to hear. Let's see. All right. Yeah. Okay. This one is called A Blessing in Disguise. In October 1995, I went for my routine gynecologist appointment, but the reports all came back negative. The following March, my pap smear came back atypical, cells of undetermined significance. My doctor wanted to redo the test. I had stage 1 cervical cancer. I remember vividly that Friday, my doctor wanted to redo the test. I had stage 1 cervical cancer. I remember vividly that Friday afternoon talking with him when I got my test results. I went into a fog. I was alone when I received my diagnosis. A dear friend was on his way back from a business trip, and I called him to give him the news. He came right over. I met with my oncologist, Dr. Alan Gordon, and surgery was scheduled for April 1996. 2 days before the surgery, I opted to have a total hysterectomy. I was 40 years old and had no plans at the time of marrying or having children. The surgery took about 5 hours, and when it was over, Dr. Gordon told my family and friends that everything looked good, that there was no lymph node involvement. A couple of nodes that he had taken during the surgery were biopsied. I left the hospital and went home with my parents to recuperate. About a week passed before I heard from Dr. Gordon. He said, I have good news and bad news. Which do you want first? I've always believed in delayed gratification. I just wish I practiced it more. I said, I want the bad news. I learned that not only did I have cancer in my cervix, but I also had stage 1 uterine cancer and stage 1 ovarian cancer in the ovaries. My goodness. 3 different kinds of cancer. Wow. The good news was that pathology confirmed there were no lymph node involvement. I scheduled an appointment to meet with my doctor to discuss my options. One of the options was to undergo 6 months of chemotherapy with the cocktail of adrenaline, something like that, adrenaline and cisplatin. That this cocktail was recommended because of something called field effect. This meant that other cancers could be developed in other organs, but it was too soon to detect any of them. So I opted to undergo chemotherapy, even though there was no evidence of cancer in my body at that time. If I had it to do over again, I would make the same choice. Chemotherapy is no walk in the park. It's hard. It's debilitating. I started losing my hair right after the second session. One morning in the shower, as I was shampooing my hair, it just started coming out in big clumps. I decided it would be best for me to get rid of it all instead of going through the clump phase. My dear friend shaved my head with his brand new electric razor. We set out on his terrace early one evening and, and had a cocktail, the good kind. The next thing I knew, I was bald. This was during the time that Demi Moore was filming G.I. Jane. I would joke that I was under I would joke that I was her understudy. The chemo was cumulative for me. The first 3 sessions were bearable. The last 3, not so much. I would always have my chemo on Friday morning, and by Friday night, the last 3 times, I was already in bed, where I would stay for the better part of a week. I was told the anti-nausea drugs were so much better than they had been in the past. Thank goodness I made it through the six sessions without incident. Well, until this happened. After my last treatment, which was in October 1996, I had a CAT scan and then went for my exam. Dr. Gordon performed the exam and asked me to get dressed and join him in his office. When I walked in, he was on the phone. I overheard him saying, "Oh, really? You're sure?" "No doubt." In my ever upbeat way, I asked if he had been talking about me. I knew he wasn't because his words sounded so menacing. Well, he was talking about me. My scan showed a mass in the lower left groin area of my abdomen. To say I was scared is an understatement. I had gone through surgery and 6 months of chemo with the glass half full the whole time. This news rocked my world. Dr. Gordon suggested that we just watch the mass for a month. He was pretty sure it was just some fluids that had collected where he had removed one of the lymph nodes. I wanted to have a procedure done as soon as possible to find out exactly what was I don't deal well with the unknown. On Halloween of 1996, I had a needle biopsy. Dr. Gordon was right. It was fluid. From there, I went into a glass half full mode. I woke up thinking about it. I went through the day with it. I went to bed at night with it, still occupying my mind. I was living in a gray world. I felt that way for several months. Finally, I talked to Dr. Gordon about prescribing something for me. He did. I took Prozac for almost 10 years after that scan. It was a good move for me and everyone around me. A couple of funny things happened during my chemo. I was enjoying a day by the pool, crowded with folks, and keeping my diagnosis literally under my hat, a big floppy straw one. Suddenly, a big gust of wind came, and away flew the cover for my head and my chemo. I jumped up and rushed to pick up the hat. You could have heard a pin drop at the pool that day. After the hat incident, I sported a cute wig, so cute that one of my coworkers kept commenting on it. Finally, I had to tell her that the hair she was commenting on was a wig. She had no clue I had been through chemotherapy. Sad to say, a fake wig looked better than a do I could accomplish with my own two hands. I learned a lot going through my experience. The old saying, plan your life and give God a chuckle, was true for me. I had thought I'd eventually marry and have children. That was my plan. I guess things happen for a reason. Remember the dear friend who had shaved my head and been so supportive through my ordeal? He is my husband. I'd met him in 1979. We married in May 2007. Life is good. I have said throughout my ordeal that cervical cancer was one of the best things that ever happened to me. I still feel that way. Ovarian cancer is such the whisper that I am grateful every day that the cervical cancer caused me to opt for a total hysterectomy. I caught the other two cancers early as well. Let's all pray that very soon we find a cure for this dreadful disease. I tell everyone I can, listen to your bodies. They are talking. Please listen. You better than anyone know when something is just not right. The listening to your body message really hit home in the summer of 2006. Lisa Rabb is one of my best friends. We grew up together and were college friends and roomies. Having lunch one day, she asked me if I had any symptoms before my cancer diagnosis. I mentioned one. That was not what she I told her what she was talking about was probably nothing, but I suggest that she have it checked out. She did. Despite a report of a benign tumor, she opted for a total hysterectomy. When her pathology results uh, when her pathology results came back, it was stage 1 ovarian cancer. Two women who grew up a block apart and were friends and roommates over the years had the same diagnosis of ovarian cancer. What is the likelihood of that? Though we drifted apart, we have really reconnected. We always had a bond of friendship, but now it is even stronger. So let's all spread the word and make the whisper become loud and clear. This story was Mitzi Tolbert Barnes. All right, lovely love. Tell me when you're getting sleepy. Let's see. Okay. 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 This one is a new lease on life. From the end of September until December the 12th, 2008, I spent most of my time in bed and was unable to eat. My digestive system was in shutdown mode. I could eat only about a half cup of food at a time. Drinking liquids was challenging. I stayed dehydrated. My doctor told me that this was the nature of ovarian cancer. I was languished. I was languishing. My progress was downhill only. My family and friends hovered around me with worried looks. I required constant care by my loved ones. During the weeks and months previous to this, I had been energetic and filled with validity. I walked 40 minutes a day. My work was very satisfying and began to go in a direction I had worked to develop for a number of years. My work and play were very satisfying. I had regular monthly contact with a number of friends, so I was seeing people weekly and making new friends. Being a gardener, I had projects going in the yard. I had been eating a healthy diet and reducing my cholesterol that way. Everything in my world seemed balanced and productive. Suddenly, all this changed, and it happened during the course of one Sunday afternoon. I had been originally diagnosed with ovarian cancer at stage 2B in May 2004. My regular doctor found a suspicious swelling in the pelvic during a routine physical. She sent me for an ultrasound, and the gynecologist told me I had an ovarian cyst in each ovary. She explained that it could be benign or malignant. The only way to know would be with surgical removal of the cyst. Hey, Love Blake, how you doing? I finally decided to have the surgery. She initially removed the cyst, leaving parts of the ovaries intact, believing they were benign. A week later, she called me back. Okay. She initially removed the cyst, leaving parts of the ovary intact, believing they were benign. A week later, she called me back to explain that the lab report indicated I had ovarian cancer. I was very concerned because the pelvic cavity had now been exposed to cancer cells from the initial surgery. A month later, I received a complete hysterectomy and staging from a oncologist. He recommended chemotherapy. Even though my stage was early because of the degree of undifferentiated cell type, my response to surgery and chemotherapy was very good. I stayed in remission for 3.5 years. I worked through my chemotherapy and had very few side effects. I made some changes in my life that result in a less taxing and more supportive lifestyle. There were some stressors in 2006 that required more changes in lifestyle. I experienced some depression and was treated for that. In learning more about cancer and remission, I believe both the positive changes and the stressful changes were contributing factors to both my remission and recurrences. Today, I'm very cautious about situations that lack a supportive and nurturing influence. Then in October 2006, my CA 125 went up, and my doctor treated me again with Gemzar and carboplatin chemotherapy. Less than 4 years later, I developed a bowel obstruction that had me in bed and not eating. I was hospitalized twice that fall and became so weak I collapsed on December 12th while climbing the stairs at home. All those months, I was totally preoccupied with dying. I planned my funeral and made lists of things to give to my family members. I constantly throughout I constantly thought about my parents who have both died. This continued until I began the path of recovery that followed December the 12th. I now know one thing: if you are obsessed with dying, you probably are dying, and it's time to do something different. My daughter Amy saved my life that day by insisting I come to Dallas and enter Baylor University Medical Center. Once I agreed to making the trip from Austin to Dallas, it took her an hour to find the new doctor and request a transfer of my medical records. I entered the emergency room that night and was admitted the next morning. I knew I needed something more than my other doctor had been giving me. I had been planning to go to the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, an integrative medicine program in Oklahoma. They use both traditional and alternative medical interventions to care for their cancer patients. However, to my great delight, my new doctor, Carolyn Matthew, had just completed a 2-year program in integrative medicine with Dr. Andrew Well. She ordered physical therapy, which consisted of energy body work, meditation, visualization, and aromatherapy. She made nutritional recommendations when I communicated them to dietary services. They made changes in the food I was served, including the fish and fresh vegetables and fruits I requested. Dr. Matthews asked me what I have in my life that I wanted to live for and return to doing. I told her about my work as a counselor with mothers and babies. I felt my enthusiasm for it and the life force energy that fuels it swelled in me as I talked. She beamed in acceptance and understanding of my passion for my work. I also spoke about my 7 grandchildren and my desire to support them in their journey to grow up. Dr. Matthews' treatment plan was immediate surgery for the bowel obstruction, along with chemotherapy. My surgeon, Dr. Chad Tate, was also a bright, healthy doctor who showed me the same type of respect I was receiving from Dr. Matthews. This really felt like a team effort, and I felt like a dynamic member of the team. After the surgery, I was finally able to start eating again. It took a while to regain my appetite. My body had grown cautious of food after the ordeal it had experienced. It was actually a month after surgery before I could eat an entire meal. During that early recovery, my son and daughter took care of me. They prepared foods and brought them to me. They cared for me as though I was their baby. I was so impressed by their dedication to supporting my recovery. There were many other family and friends who took care of me as well. Someone was constantly with me. I was surprised by my ability to go and receive their care. I just made it just made sense to do it, though, and their willingness was so encouraging. They held they held for me the strength my body lacked in the action of caring and nurturing. To, Together, Dr. Matthew and I chose to use the carboplatin and toxin chemotherapy that had originally put me in remission for 3.5 years. I had my first chemo treatment on January the 8th, and by January 28th, when I went for my second chemo treatment, the tumor she had told me covered the whole pelvic floor could not be felt at all. I could hardly believe my ears. As she smiled at me, I realized my situation had turned around. I felt hope again for the first time in 4 months. My body and I have conversations. Sometimes it asks me what is going on. We have never experienced such exhaustion and depletion. My usual energy level is very high. This has been frightening and required quite an adjustment, both physically and emotionally. My body and I now recognize that we must both be open to the ideal of different life. My recovery has been slow. I have plateaued that can be discouraging. I have become more accustomed to them and more accepting. My brother, who has had a miraculous and challenging recovery from esophagus cancer, is my inspiration and support. In his 8 years of remission, he has learned so much about the emotion that accompany cancer. When I get stuck and notice my mind going round and round on some fear of dilemma, I talk to him. He reminds me to accept my current experience and work with it. My strength is coming back slowly, and my mood is more and more one of acceptance and gratitude. I still recognize the two paths I have followed, one to life and recovery, and one to death and letting go. I honor both paths and recognize their equal value. Of course, I gravitate toward life and recovery, but I don't close my eyes to the other path. I also realize how quickly and unexpectedly I can be called upon to embrace it. I know that I'm not on it today, and I am joyful about that. I realize more and more that it takes great wisdom and willfulness to fully embrace the path of death and letting go. I know I still have a lot of spiritual growing to do. I hope my recent experiences have helped me to prepare for that time. And this story is by Lynn Lynch. Yeah, I think B-Town, B-Town, I think she must have fell asleep because she was in here one moment. And next time I was like, B-Town, you still here? No answer. I think she must have passed out. Yep, she must have passed out. Yep. Y'all couldn't sleep. Mhm. Yep. Mm-mm. Yeah, I was sitting here and I was looking at Jay Wilson. He went live 3 times tonight. I mean, like back to back to back. He Well, he may have had more than three lives, but those was the one that was back to back. First he did his, and then Olivia. Let me see, was it Olivia? Yeah, it was Olivia the Oracle. Yeah, it was crazy. Uh, he did his. Then after he got off, I think he's seen that Olivia the Oracle was talking about him and some other people, QB and James Carville. She was talking about all that video from last night, and she was talking about them. So he came back on, and he started getting on her, like he do, because they say she was on it. She was going off on him and stuff. So he jumps back on, and and he started with her, and then my hair, and then he was talking about her, and then he was getting off again, and then all of a sudden Nicole Tyler, you know, he jumped right back on and went in on Nicole Tyler. I was like, dang, you did 3 lives in a row, back to back. Nicole and you should have heard he was talking about Nicole. You know he was gonna talk mess about Nicole. Because Nicole likes talk mess too. That's what she jumped on that for, so she can get a piece of the pie. Get some of them clicks and views. And Olivia the Oracle was doing the same thing. And Jay Wilson was telling her she was wrong because, you know, that last time she came, that she was on, she was talking about she wasn't going to come back on. She was not going to be arguing with them. And she was done with that and all this. And he said, and here you come. I thought you said you you weren't going to do that anymore. He said, yeah, we know we know you was lying because this is where the money is. The clicks and views. And he just went on and on and on. And I was like, maybe he'll get off and go do whatever it was that he was going to do the first time he got off. But yeah, like he said he wasn't gonna miss out. Every time they go live, he was gonna go live. So it was hilarious. And then Fabe came on. I think she came on like 9 o'clock. I think. Cause I was, let me see. Yeah, I was looking at that when B-Town went live. But I was after I was watching Fabe when she went off, and Jay Wilson went on after she did. So I didn't get a chance to catch B-Town. I had to watch her replay. But yeah, It was crazy. Hmm. Yep. She was definitely. It was hot in them streets. And then Teddy, he was he was live. He went off on Trey. Because they say Trey was ooh, excuse me. They say Trey must it must have been this morning or something. They said he was on his channel crying. So who 5'8" he did. She was just she was talking about Sean Bradley, and she had some uh I guess they would call it informant, somebody in club chat that was behind the Patreon door uh, that gave her all the information about, I guess, what was going on in club chat, and so she knew all the tea, and she got the information, and then she let's see, after then she was talking about QI, no, not QI, QB. Basically, what was she talking about? Oh, about congratulating him because he had 1,000 people in his chat last night when all that happened, and then James Caldwell went live. Was that last night or today? I can't remember. But he was telling. He said his title was something like "Let me tell how it really went." Basically, he felt that he was what's the word? Dang it, I lost train the what's the word? Dang it. Um, uh, I can't think of the word, but it's like he was on there, but he felt that QB. Um, I don't want to say tricked, but I just can't think of the word that's used. Um, bombarded. That's not the word, but something like that. Ambushed. Yeah, you got it. Thanks, because I just could not think of the word. Was ambushed when he came on last night. I think that wasn't that last night that panel. Yeah, that all six of them was on there when Rico pulled out his private part. Not once but twice. It was like this boy talking about immature. Why would you do that on somebody else's platform? If you're gonna do something stupid like that, do it on your own platform. Why would you wait till you get on somebody else's? And knowing that that video will probably be not be monetized. Um, and he had all those people, 1,000 people in that chat, and then Rico gonna pull his private out. Not once, but twice. It's crazy. Did you see that? Did y'all see that last night? On the yeah, it's like I would have been pissed, highly pissed, if if somebody come on my platform and be that disrespectful. Oh, you missed them. Oh, yes. I mean, the first time he pulled it out, and QB kept telling it, Rico, No, Rico pulled that camera up above, up top. Pull it up, because he I don't know, he knew he was gonna do something. He was gonna do something stupid, and he did. He not once, but he pulled it. And Jay Wilson was like, Rico, Rico. He was trying to get him to stop. They couldn't stop Rico. Rico was doing what Rico wanted to do, and that's what he did. And I mean, the second time he put it all the way out, and I don't know if he was over there messing with it, because he was just standing stiff as a board. It's like, why would you do that on somebody else's platform? Mess up, but Jay Wilson told QB, don't worry about it. He's gonna show him how to, I guess, block that out or cut it, edit it out. See, good, there's a way, because ain't no way he can get monetized with Rico doing that. And then after that, last night, Blazing had some pictures of Rico, and he put those pictures out of Rico. Did y'all see those pictures, or did y'all miss those too? Tell me y'all didn't miss those pictures. Oh my goodness. Blazing had those pictures. The first one was Rico had a mouthful, and you could see him. You could see him from here up, but you knew what he had in his mouth. And he was like looking up, he was down there looking up at the guy, and then he just had a mouthful. The second picture was Rico all bent over, cheeks all spreaded wide. You seen those? Jay Wilson. Let's see. Rico been talking all that noise about them, who was the bottom and all that, and I guess those pictures may have told. You missed that. Oh my goodness! May have told a story on Rico. I guess he's he must be a bottom too. You talking about crazy, and then here go Jay Wilson making fun of I let my dogs out of Rico, saying, Rico, you was all bent over and to my cheeks spreaded wide. He looked like one of those those baboons, how they butt look, hush, how they butt look like it's turned out, and look, it's pink. He said that's what Rico looked like. Look who woke up. B-Town, you must have fell asleep. I'm gonna let my dogs out. Wait a minute. Hush. Okay. Hey. Yeah, so he said that's where Rico looked like one of them baboons. I mean, I think it's on I think it's still on who? I think it's on Blazing's community page. So yeah, it was it was wild all night, from last night to today. It was all about that. Now, James Caldwell was not a happy camper about, even though it was good. You know, it was wild on that panel with all six of them. But James Caldwell was not a happy camper about it because he didn't want to be on a panel when Wiley was on that panel at the same time as he. And that's why he felt ambushed. He came on there. Hey, come on. Keeping up all that noise. Come on. Get in here. Waiting on the last one. Yeah. And because he didn't want to be on the panel with Wiley. And QB didn't tell him, I guess, that Wiley was going to be on there. He didn't know Wiley was going to be on there. So he was not a happy camper. Come on. Yeah. He did not want to be on there with him. You better be quiet. Hush. He mad. He want me to open this door for him. But yeah, so yeah, it's on Blazing's community page. That's crazy. I was like, why all these pictures? Where they getting the pictures? And I was wondering, where did Blazing get the pictures from? Well, tonight I was looking at Trey on Trey's channel. Wiley was on there. He said that Wiley stole those pictures out of his phone when they was at DC Gate. Where's my little puppy? Oh, he's in it. So that's how he got, supposedly got Rico's pictures. Those pictures that Blazing, I guess he must have gave them to Blazing, and Blazing posted them because him and Rico was arguing and fighting. So Blazing said, I told you, leave me alone. And he wouldn't. He kept on going after him. So he posted those pictures. And so Rico was mad. And he wanted Wiley to come on. Wiley was in the chat room and he was going off on Wiley. And he said Wiley is the one that stole those pictures out of his phone when they was at DC Gate. And he was talking to his grandmother on one phone. And when he came out of the bathroom, he seen that Wiley had been messing with his phone. But I guess he didn't do anything or say anything because I guess he didn't realize that Wiley was stealing his pictures. I said, Lord have mercy. Them two. He ain't gonna ever be ready for Wiley. He's not gonna stop going after Wiley. He hates Wiley with a passion. So yeah. So I posted those pictures before the one with Rico on the bed. Huh? Let's see. But you don't see all that in the picture. No, you don't get to see, you know, see what he's doing, but you know what he's doing because he's got something you can tell he's what he's doing. And he's down on his knees and he's looking up and you can tell what he have in his mouth. And the other picture, you can't see his whole bottom, but you can see, you know, where his rectum. Yeah, it's evident. It's uh, it don't take you too much to figure that out. But I was like, my goodness, y'all in all these pictures, and new pictures. But I don't know why he got so mad. I mean, that's what he did for, like, for his living, I guess. I guess that's what they call it. So yeah, yeah, but they were at it. Let's see, when was Wiley on the panel? Oh, the one last night. He was on. He was on the one last night. He left and he came back like 2 times, but he was on there cause uh, Jay Jay Wilson and James Caldwell. You see, that's when they was going at it. They was all going at Wiley, and I guess he couldn't take that heat, and he just left. And Wiley I mean, not Wiley, but Rico wanted him. Oh, you can't find it? Now, you know it was on QB's page. You looked at QB's. Uh, I'm not sure, but it was, I think it had all their initials. I can't exactly remember, but I thought it had all of their initials on it. Mm. Yep. Yeah, I don't know the title of it. Wiley be thinking stuff be funny. Cause I know he just when you die. I know he better stop. He better stop playing with Rico. Look at a mess doing stuff and then laughing. Cause Rico threatened to come to Dallas on him. He better leave Rico alone. The boy already don't act like he playing with a full deck. And then they talked about Jay Wilson talked about I don't know what's going on with TSCC, VS and Brianna, and that guy that used to be, yeah, yep, part two because they still going on with it. And then Brianna and VS, something had went on with them. I think it's because Brianna's, I think, I don't know if they, VS kicked her out yesterday. And that guy, King Kenley, I think he's Brianna's, she called him her brother. And I think maybe VS didn't, Chopper and Brianna was going at each other. I'm talking about hard. He was talking about her weight and how much she eat, and I mean just going at her. And I'm not sure if Brianna have still parted ways, because I know VS was saying she don't have no problems with Brianna. They not mad at each other. Well, that was today. She was saying that. Yesterday, supposedly, she put Brianna out, or Brianna. That's what they said. They say she fired Brianna. You know, but it's because the person that Brianna's having a problem with is Chopper, and I think he's jealous. I think he's jealous. He wants to be close to VS, I think, the way I see it. But them two was going at it hard. And I don't know what's the deal with this King Kenley guy. But then VS was claiming that he was Trey. That King Kenley is Trey, simply Trey. And she done pulled up the boys' high school, what you call it, the annual, the books. Is that right? Yeah. The annual, they have your pictures in it. Have everybody's pictures and you can see that's Trey, but I don't know why VS came up with that King and Trey was the same person. I don't know, but it's in the video. One of the videos of VS where she's got his picture, his class picture in there. That part is wild. I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on? Yeah, there's Messy Monday part 2. And I don't know what Tracy doing. She's over there doing some craziness because Jay Wilson was doing his video about her too. And I don't know. And Five Baby was, she was giving Sean Bradley the blues, saying that he ain't nobody. People don't even be looking for him. He's done played out. Yeah. So. And they were saying that QB is headed towards being just like Sean Bradley. And she was like, put a one in the chat if you think QB is going to be just like Sean Bradley. Put 2. I put 1. And I said, I put 1, and I said he's headed in that direction. Because Sean Bradley does that call in and let people fight and cuss and go on, on each other, and QB have that same platform. But he let people call in and people go off. Same concept as Sean Bradley. So so yeah, hope hopefully he don't, because if he does, ain't gonna turn out good. Just having people call in and just be all buck wild, cussing folks out. Well, they can't be doing that because what is it? Is it today? Well, that was yesterday. It's December the 10th. December 10th. Oh yeah, that was yesterday. Oh well, just a new day, but yesterday was the 10th. Wasn't that deadline or something about YouTube? Or is it January the 1st or whatever? So it was something about December the 10th. But all this craziness these people doing, and Rico pulling out his stuff on camera. That was like, Lord have mercy. This boy, it's like maybe he should stay drunk, because if that was sober, I would hate I would hate to see him drunk too many times. Because in QB, when he was doing all that and acting all crazy, pulling out his stuff, and QB never, he just went, now Rico, don't do that. And, you would think that's when he would have raised his voice and did all that that he did the other time with Jay Wilson. Now, when he muted them, you would have thought he would have done it then. He didn't. He's sitting there with that laugh. He said, well, he already done did it now. Jay Wilson hadn't said, don't worry about QB. I'll show you how to edit it out. Can't find it. Maybe he had taken it down. Since he was going to, he's probably got to edit it first. Maybe he haven't got that part out. He haven't took it out yet. But yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. I don't know what Trish is up to. But I know she was, Trey was saying he wanted to thank Tracy because she I keep forgetting the words. She proved, that's not the word, but proved that he was who he said he was, I think, instead of what VS was saying that he was King Kenley. He kept trying to prove it, say he don't know who that is, and that's his picture that's in the school book, yearbook, but he's not no King Kenley. So yeah. And that Trey was wild. I thought B-Town woke up. She must have went back to sleep. Yeah, he must have took it down. He's probably gonna put it back up, probably as soon as he find a way to figure out how to edit that. Where's Trey from? I seen somebody said Illinois. Somebody had put it in the chat saying something about he was from Illinois. And I guess that's why he was hurt that he couldn't come to Bobby's vacation thing. Did you see when you probably said if you've been asleep all day, a red pill? I didn't watch it. I didn't even watch the two from last night. And then she put another one after 5A's video. I can't think of what was the name of it. It was, I forgot the title of it. For some reason, I just have a hard time watching her videos now because it doesn't seem, it don't seem right. Her videos don't. And if I read them, I'm gonna be concerned. So I couldn't watch them. So, like I say, some ain't right. Some ain't right. But she keep on saying, 5A saying I think she was having those 7 security people. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I saw a replay of QB and James was talking about him, QB, yeah, and I think she said, yeah, she really does. And what bothers me is that it don't seem like 5A is listening or looking at the videos and being concerned enough, because it's not just yourself. You got people coming out of other states and stuff, and this woman don't seem like there's some problems there, because you don't just like somebody like she was, Babe Nation and 5A and Tracy D and this and that, and then just like that, she turned on 5A and Tracy D, and that's not normal. Yeah, are you seeing it? I just can't watch them. I can't watch it. I keep saying that I'm going to, and I sit there and looked at the notification that she had put another video out last night, and I just couldn't click on it because it concerns me. Let's see, they did a video tonight about her. The cop didn't her. 5A say she knows what is going on. What she says she know what's going on with Red Pill. So she's been just, so don't worry about it anymore. Okay, hopefully she do. Maybe that's why she got the 7, security people. But pray, because you can't, you can't, they have all of these doggone shooters, So you can't just ignore, some things and some people when they say different stuff. You have to, you got to pay attention, look and listen to their stuff, because you may think they just talking, but people get up there and then something happens. That'll be real sad. So hopefully she's checking out those videos, because something ain't right. Yeah. And the sad thing is, I think she had told me she was she's ex-police. Yeah. Cause when was that she made that Babe Nation one? Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Was Deanna supposedly? I don't. They saying what is it they were saying? Let's see. So she's paying attention. Oh, okay. I believe SB kicked Deanna out of club chat and she's not going. Yeah, but last night they was talking about this. She wasn't going to be able to get her refund her money, and there she had paid. She had paid for her whole trip, and that he put her out. Well, if he kicked her out, he needs to return her money. I mean, that's the right thing to do if you're gonna put her out. And the other thing is that they said tonight was that Deanna and you don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I don't. I would say I don't know if he would put her out, or did she separate herself from club chat. Now that I would believe. I ain't no telling. He's scandalous enough to do it. But the thing is, now the what was said is that Deanna and Tracy is no longer friends. They were so tight they were calling themselves twins. But supposedly no more friendship there. No. Yeah, they're no longer friends. hmm So they're falling apart. hmm I wouldn't have believed, not the way, not the way they were calling themselves. I could believe it if somebody, if they said that, I would believe it. hmm Because Sean might have said, "Hey, yeah, she's gone from here, and she done said stuff about me, and well, yeah, they all lie. So, but we'll be able to pay attention and see if Tracy's in our chats anymore, or was she in Tracy's chats? You'll be able to see, to tell if it's true or not. So that would be interesting. But this is. So Deanna go live. I think was Tracy live? I think Tracy was live tonight, but I didn't watch it. I don't watch her. Hey, Diamond, she's still doing up. Don't tell me you can't sleep either. hmm Yep. So yeah, it's I guess that it's believable. Okay, I guess it's believable. Okay, all right, lovely. Can't sleep. Okay, yeah, everybody can sleep. I'm surprised, yeah, because I came on to, it was late when I came on to do my reading. I figured everybody was probably asleep. And then I had, I think a couple of people, um, I just started reading. Yep, just started reading until everybody went to sleep, fell asleep, or went to sleep, or left. Mhm. Yeah, you can catch the replay. I, like I told them, if I don't have but one person or no people in the chat, I'm gonna still read, and then because they can do a replay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it has been crazy. It was crazy last night. Let's see. I see Rebel dropped the video. Yeah, I got to get it out there. Got to put it out there. Cause I was I don't know if you heard me. I think I said it yesterday. I think it was yesterday, and maybe day before yesterday. Yeah, I think it was yesterday and day before yesterday. I said this. There was a woman that contacted me, um, and she had heard me doing the reading for the ovarian cancer, and she was telling me about her some symptoms that she was having, and the symptoms that she was having, I know, B symptoms, and it was just uh, sounded just symptoms. It sounded like it was ovarian cancer. Um, she did go after I talked to her. She did go to get went to a gynecologist. She did that. Um, it came back and she told the woman that you know, like they always do. Oh, you okay? Everything is normal. And, all that. But the woman was having like stomach pains, um, head bloating, where you touch your stomach, it hurts, it's pain. Um, what else was she having? And having issues with bowel movements. Her live yesterday, and Tracy was in her chat. She spoke. No, did it? Oh, okay. Um, yeah, and so then she went. She had to get a um, go to so she went and had a what you call it? So they scraped the cells within the cervix there. Yeah, because the doctor had said that her lining was good. I didn't know what that what what they were talking about. Her lining was good, but as I've said they can't. They still can't tell if you have ovarian cancer by doing the Pap smear and that exam. So she went to she had to get a colonoscopy. Okay, and after that, the doctor had said, oh, the diagnosis was um, the, well, I don't know if I want to tell y'all this first or when I was reading the book. Okay, I'll hold off the diagnosis. Okay, so then I was reading a story of this lady, and most of the symptoms was uh, the bloating, the pain in your stomach, indigestion. I think one lady had back pain, backache. That's the first time I heard that one. And what's some of the old abnormal menstrual cycle, painful intercourse. Did I miss any? But the I don't think I might have missed some, but I had read them out. But when this lady that was in this book, that sometimes can be a misdiagnosis of chlamydia, abdominal pain, and back pain. Okay. Well, yeah, so then I was reading some stories in the book, and I got to this one particular story, um, and I began to read, and there was a sentence in there where it said that, that her doctor had diagnosed her with tubercul- tuberculosis, and I I I just lost. I mean, I couldn't think anymore, and I couldn't read for a while. I had to stop right there. Why? Because that is the diagnosis that the woman that I'm that had contacted me. That's what her doctor diagnosed her having, tuberculosis. And with tuberculosis, there's not a cure for it. It's that's your life. And the tuberculosis is when you have um, I think issues with it's some kind of is diagnosis. I mean, not diagnosis. Um, yeah, it's a issue with your digestive system. It has to do with your intestines, your large intestines, and and there's no cure for it. And I think that was the first time her being, hey, Dr. Lovely, the lady, she sent me her paperwork. She took a picture of it and sent it to me and said, "This is the diagnosis that the doctor, you know, came up with, said that I had." And so I looked it up, and it was um, issue with her digestive, her large intestines is something wrong with it, and because they have, she had issues going to the bathroom like normal people. Um, and then I was reading that story, and I read that sentence, and I just got all confused. Like now, I start stuttering, trying to read the story, and I just had to stop because it's like, wow. So where where this lady was thinking that it wasn't ovarian cancer, it was this tuberculosis, but I didn't know that one of the symptoms or the false diagnosis, it's false or real, it don't matter. It's the lady who was diagnosed with that same thing. So my mind was like, Mm. I was just so confused and like, wow, this woman may have, she may have ovarian cancer. But, and then that wasn't it. That wasn't the end. After I sort of kind of got my composure, I started back reading, and I got to a part where the lady said that she had lymph nodes uh, in her lungs. And there I go again. She told me, not that same uh, conversation, but another day, a conversation she said to me. And she said, I didn't tell you this, but I'm supposed to go to the doctor. He had told me he wanted me to take a CAT scan, something about my lungs. And I was, I was just done. Just done. I was like, what? And I had, I had already I had told the woman to make sure she tell her gynecologist that she want the test when she first went, because her first issue that when I told her she needed to go was bloated stomach. Her stomach was bloated. She can't eat but a little of something, just a little amount. And if she eat, she can't use the bathroom. So she's bloated, and her stomach is always in pain. Those were B had those symptoms when she was first diagnosed. Well, I told her tell that gynecologist that she want the test, to give her the test. And she told the gynecologist she want that CA-125. Well, I don't know why they would refuse to give you that test, knowing um, how women are misdiagnosed. Um, and I kept going like, you are going to have to be forceful and demand them to give you that test. This is between life and death. Okay, the longer you wait, the longer if they don't listen, the longer you go without that test can be the difference between your life and your death. So if you need to give them my phone number and tell them call me while you standing there, I'm going to find out why they refusing to give you that test. A test is just a blood test. They need to give you that test. Um, um, and I don't think they've taken it. And I haven't been able to talk to that lady since I read those two additional symptoms in that book, the tuberculosis and the lung issues. So I haven't been sleeping because I mean, mm, you read the symptoms and not and knowing that this woman is saying she's got this and she got that, and and before I said anything, I was like, I knew for myself those she was the symptoms she was telling me what was going on with her was the same symptoms that B went through, symptoms that are in this book. Every time I read a story to y'all, they tell their symptoms, and then to read up and see this word that this woman sent me her paperwork, and that's what the doctor diagnosed her with. And then a little bit later, then she tells me about the lung problem, and both of those was in the book. It's I don't know. It just did something to me, and then I haven't been able to to reach her, because I'm gonna have to tell her. I'm gonna have to find this story and read this story to her. Well, thank you, Dobby. Yeah, not, hey, you just don't want to see any other woman go through having ovarian cancer, number one. And definitely, you don't want to see them being misdiagnosed. And then being misdiagnosed, that's the difference between you living and you passing away, being misdiagnosed, like B was. 6 months lapse. I think she's sleep. Because B went through the same thing, and she got a chat open. Oh Lord. But yeah, because the longer you're misdiagnosed, that is when all these other issues, like what is it called, diving, when the cancer spread to your other organs, metastasis. Yeah, I think that's how to pronounce. I got it somewhere right. Metastasis, something like that. When it connect it. Something like that. It attaches to your liver, to your spleen, to your lungs, all that. The longer you wait, the longer you're misdiagnosed. That's what happens. Because that's what happened to me. It attached to her lungs, and then it went to her spleen, and I think her gallbladder. They removed the gallbladder. I think they removed her spleen, and they cut off the part on her liver that it had connected to. So, yeah. Yeah. Because hearing, that you have something that you didn't think you had. You think you had tuberculosis, which is something that is not curable in itself, and you can never use the bathroom like normal people. You can go 4 months without going to the bathroom. Now that is crazy for us to think this that somebody can go without going to the bathroom on their own. They have to drink. I guess it's like, is it barium? I think it's barium or something. Barium. They have to drink that every day by the gallons. Nobody cuts waste. Yeah, just sitting there, and because it can start going up the wrong way and out your mouth, and then you become septic. Is that it, Diamond? If it can't go out, it start building up, and it'll come up and out your mouth. But it's not going anywhere. It don't go. It don't go anywhere. Yeah, and that's crazy to think somebody can never use the bathroom, uh, like regular people. Just going to the bathroom by yourself, and then hear somebody tell you that there's no cure for it. You'll go life. That's your life of having to get these gallon jugs of barium, and you have to drink that every day. Mm. But I guess I guess that would be better than, well, I don't know. I was gonna say better than having ovarian cancer, but after seeing those two things as a symptom, one of one of the two of the symptoms. Mm-hmm. It's like all you have all those symptoms. You have all the symptoms that are in these books that these women are talking about. I hope not. I I, I hope you can just, you may have them, but you don't have it. You don't have the C word. But I wish, I hope that's not it. I pray it's not it. But you have to, I can't imagine. Uh, you go in and see their doctor had told them had told her that I need you to come to my office, and they say, "What? Is it okay? Is everything okay?" No, I just need you to come to the office. That's never good when they say that. No, when you say, "Is everything okay?" They'll say, "Well, I'll talk to you when you come to the office." That's never a good thing. That's And then they usually will tell you bring somebody with you because they know that's probably gonna knock you on your knees. Mm, but I I can't. I haven't heard from the woman, so mm, it's crazy. And the doctor act like they paying for the test. I, Doctor, you're not paying for the test. You know, the patient is paying for the test. If the patient asks you to give them the test, why are you fighting and going against what your patient asks? That's crazy to me. So I hope and pray that she gets that. Hold on. Hmm. Yeah, so, yep, rough on the body. Yeah, and I just can't imagine. I know, I think she had to have a surgery because her intestines, um, they thought that it had tore, and I think once it uh, tear, if the bacteria and stuff goes comes out of your intestine, goes into your body, you become septic and you can die. So they was going to do emergency surgery on her. Um, and once they got in, they found out that it wasn't tore. It had just had a knot, a kink in her intestines, and that's what why she was having the pain and she couldn't use the bathroom because she was twisted. Um, and I think what they did, they cut the part that's dead or whatever, since it was twisted, cut that part off and stitched it up, and she was good as new. But mm, tuberculosis, I never heard of tuberculosis. That, that's when you can you scared to eat because you're gonna have stomach pains and you're gonna be bloated. Mm, well, yep. So I haven't did too much sleeping. Mm, 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 mm. I can't believe all you're all y'all awake. Mm, mm. And I hear people say that when they get some kind of bad news, they're like, I'm going back to sleep. All right, little Blake. Hopefully, I talk you out of sleep. To say that they be in a fate, especially in the days of fog, some kind of fog, when they get, like their doctor telling them that they got, you know, ovarian cancer or cancer period. They just it's like a fog. You don't hear nothing else. I know B. She was saying that she was looking at that doctor, and her mouth was moving, but nothing was coming out. I'm going to leave you playing like. Yeah, I ain't gonna stay on here too long. I was just trying to get y'all sleepy so y'all can go back to bed. Then I'll lay down, hopefully sleep. hmm But being in the fog, I I can't imagine. I can imagine being in the fog. And just he was like, if the doctor was saying, wah, 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 wah. He was like, did you hear what I said? Mm-mm. Yeah. And I'm glad, I'm glad I read the books. Um, During the reading. Because, like I said, this woman contacted me, and there's been other women that have said, you know, give me, what's the name of the test again? I want to get one. Yeah, whatever it takes to keep somebody from having to go through stuff all of these women went through in these books. 26 in one book, 26 in the other book. That's a lot of women. A lot of women to be told the same thing. You have ovarian cancer and been misdiagnosed. Most of them, most all of them, except for the ones that um, had theirs picked up only because they were having. I think yesterday I read a story where one of the women, she was going to get a weight loss surgery, and that's the only way they found out that she had ovarian cancer. And another one, I forgot what she was going through, but that was the only way. Hers was early diagnosed because she was going through something. It was something else that she was going through, and they found it. So, yeah. hmm Dr. Lovely, you at work? Or quarters? You still here? She might have went back to sleep. Picking out one. Okay, now I understand you, Lovely. So I guess B Town. Oh, she leaves her. She leaves her video. Wait a minute. Her what she do her live instead of she leave it running. I don't know if you get. I don't know. I don't know why she do that. I mean, I know it. But I don't know if nobody's in your chat. I don't know how that goes. Cause she was in Jay Wilson chat, and some lady said, do you know you have a live that's still showing that you're live? And she thought somebody may have hacked her account, hacked the B Town's account. I don't know if you. I know people do silent screens. Um, but I don't know how that works. How do you get credit for, and there's no back and forth talking or maybe the Aquarius mindset, you still here? Somebody is still. I got 5 people in here. Oh well, Love Lake is still got hers running. Uh, Curtis might have fell back to sleep because she was one of them. She woke up, couldn't sleep. Davy, you still awake? If not, that means I either got some sleepy people in my chat as them fell asleep. Most of the time I do. Oh no, I was wondering. I had 5 people showing, and I knew you left yours running, but I may have some people in the clouds and in the bushes. Yeah. I'll sit here for for a little bit longer till I get sleepy. Then I close it out and lay down. What time is it? 2:21. Yeah. There you go. And get you some sleep, little Blake. I ain't gonna be on here long. Is the talking about? But is she on? She not on now, is she? Oh, her laugh like. You know what? I like I told you, I can't. For some reason, I can't watch her videos. It's hard for me to watch her videos now. Because I didn't even watch those other 2 from last night. I said I was going to watch it, the one that she had something about somebody's babe, waiting for the babe of the nation. That I couldn't. Yeah, it's hard for me to watch her videos because they don't sound right. Before I could, but now that it seems so weird, the messages in her videos, the talking about Fabe and Tracy D and cursing them and calling them all kinds of names. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Oliver Darko, what's his name? James Powell, QB, ST. What was ST? The one I did listen to was them asking for George. What? Who was asking her for drugs? I remember in another video she was saying that somebody wanted the drugs that when she had her broken ankle, and they was wanting her oxycodone, oxy, uh, whatever that them drugs was, them strong drugs, saying somebody was asking her for 'em. But she never called no name. She just rambling on about that, and at the time it didn't. I mean, I understood what she said, but it didn't make sense. I mean, she didn't call no name, and so I'm just like, I didn't know if it was true or not. And she was talking about that she didn't she, she wouldn't take them or something. Mm-hmm. Cause she says she was saying some kind of strange stuff, and then that laughing that she be doing, it just like spooky. She be laughing hard too. Mm-hmm. So I said, shit, making videos talking about people gonna be looking for Babe Nation. Uh, you you know sometimes people say, they just talking, but no, you can't be saying that somebody is just talking. People does strange things. They do dangerous stuff. They kill people. They get in a group, they kill people. So you can't be saying that, and they ain't gonna do nothing, because you never know these days. You never know. Mm. You never know. She called 5A that. I know, it's just like you you just not too long ago you was all 5A, Baby Nation, Tracy D, all this, and then just like that, you started calling them names and cursing them out and calling them all kind of vulgar names, accusing them of all kinds of mess. It's like, who does that? For what reason? That's why I asked Fabi, what did you do to her to make her so angry, mad? And when Fabi said, she said in a lie, she was like, I ain't did nothing to that woman. And I think Fabi was thinking, and this is what she said. She said she thought that she got jealous of her numbers, which I don't think that was it, because she's Red Pill just came on the scene. I think most she's had is maybe 400 and some subscribers, if that. So she can't be jealous. That would be done to be jealous of 5A's numbers, when 5A been on here over a year and she's only been on here some months. That's no reason to be jealous or envious over 5A's subscriber count. It it have to be something else. And if it doesn't make sense, and if I can't make any sense of it, and I know I can't make no sense out of, then it's something else. But it's something else that you need to be pay attention to. And maybe, you know, because I'm being in law enforcement, I pay attention to to people, to what they say and what they don't say. Because it's not always what they say. It's also what they say and what they say and what they don't say. You have to pay attention to that. That's how they have all these school shootings and all this other stuff. Because the person says stuff, but nobody pays any attention. So therefore, they don't know until they bust up in the school and start shooting folks. Yeah. Yeah. I guess everybody else drifted on back to sleep. Film is at work. No, I'm not. Yeah. There you go. If she ain't worried about it, there you go. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. She right. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I'm gonna go to sleep. Lay it down. Y'all can go. You know what? She dropped a video a little bit earlier when Jay Wilson and 5 Baby was on. I think it was when Jay Wilson. I haven't taken time to look at it. I did. I did hadn't clicked on it, but you know how you can see the movement. She was up there dancing. Oh, she was dancing. She was making them faces, and she had. It must have been Earth, Wind, and Fire because she had it written across the screen, and she was joking. I said, "Look at Tita. Tita is gone." mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to look at her probably tomorrow when I wake up. All right, then I'm gonna get on off of here. I did my reading. I'm gonna lay it down, watch TV until I fall asleep. All right, well, you have a good night. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care. And all my people in the bushes, in the clouds, y'all have a lovely night. And I will see y'all tomorrow. I appreciate you coming by. Hopefully you thumbs up my video. Subscribe. hit that bell. So when I come on and do my readings and my video, you'll know. Thank you very much. And I am out of here.